Show live. I just wanted to, before we get into the episode, I just want to issue major spoiler alert. We are going to be talking about everything that happened in episode 4 of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So if you haven't checked that out yet, maybe want to pause this video and head over to Disney Plus, check out that episode, and then come back and rewatch the breakdown. Now, with that out of the way, let's start the show.
Poppin' Off presents That Recap Show.
All right, joining with me to break down everything from episode 4 of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, it's Jon Jon Rico.
Hello there.
Hello there.
What's going on, dude?
Not too much. How's it going?
Oh, not too much, dude. You know, same old, same old.
Same old.
Kenobi.
Kenobi.
Yeah.
Your favorite Fortnite skin.
One of them, yes. Definitely. Come on, he sits there, he's all like, yeah, doing this thing. Yeah, I love it. It's great.
until you unlock the Darth Vader skin. That is the top of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. For sure.
But Kenobi episode 4.
Episode 4.
You know, I look, episode 3, I think, might have been my favorite episode.
Oh,
This wasn't a bad episode, but you had a comment when we were talking before this, that it felt like a middle of the road episode. Basically, it felt like a middle of a series episode. It furthered the plot. It had good parts.
yeah.
Just like coming off of episode 3, that was my favorite episode. You know?
Yeah, it was gonna be hard to follow up that first showdown between them, even though the showdown stuff was pretty one-sided, but like just the weight that all that carried.
Yeah,
this was kind of like our come down of that, and then these next 2 episodes I'm sure are going to just bring us right back up.
Yeah, ramp up like crazy.
Yeah, ramp it up big time, dude.
Yeah. So I really don't have any pop culture references. I don't this time. But the parts that I enjoyed, there are some things I'm not going to touch on now, just because I do have them more for my takeaways. But what I was going to say was the one thing that I thought was funny was that all throughout the Book of Boba Fett, we were seeing Boba get into the med tank.
The bacta tank.
Yeah, all the time, just as a normal thing, almost like to go to sleep type of thing, to recover, to recuperate type of thing. Obi-Wan's in it for like, I mean, the duration was like that for us, but I'm sure it was very, very short. And he's just like, nope, I'm done. Like I get like the urgency in his mind because we gotta save Leia and stuff like that. But I just thought it was funny in the comparison of how, all the time Boba was just like, nah, I gotta get in the tank. I gotta be in the tank. Don't leave me alone, type of thing. And then we get Obi-Wan in there for like what feels like 3 seconds, and he's just like, nope, time to go, type of thing.
Yeah, the show has done a lot of like just passing time really quickly in scenes, just pass time, like almost a little bit hard at some points to know like how much time has passed whenever some of these things happen. But before we knew it, he was already on what was it, Jabeam, or I think was the name of the planet that they were taking him to. He was already there at the beginning of this episode, so it's like that these time jumps are happening, and who knows how long he was really in the tank before everything happened. But
I mean, not
really
long
wasn't
enough.
In there not long. He really wasn't there very long.
Not long enough is the correct answer to that.
Yeah, exactly. Especially according to them too. He goes, no, I gotta go.
Yeah,
I
gotta move.
Do. Yeah.
Barely stand instead of like going, you know what, maybe I'll take another night. I'll just like
right.
I'll just take another night. Just give me a little bit more time. No, I'm ready to go. But what were some of your instant reactions to this episode?
I thought so this was a pretty like standard prison break episode basically for for the most part. That's not to say I did not have fun with it though. I thought this was actually
Right.
a really fun episode. And so like right when you were just talking about Obi-Wan in the back to tank, I really like that opening because we're getting this kind of back and forth cutting between him and Vader, both in their own back to tanks. And I now that they've seen each other, I feel like their connection is starting to get even stronger within the Force. And
Mm.
so now they're starting to feel each other even more. And you can kind of see it in the way that they react. That's obviously why Obi-Wan kind of feels that sense of urgency to go save her because obviously now he knows that Anakin is Vader slash Vader is still out there. And she that puts her in even more danger when he knows that she's in, even like within his grasp, basically.
Yeah. A lot
Um,
closer. Yeah.
yeah. So I really did like seeing that, and also like everything with him in the Fortress Inquisitorius is shades of episode 4 when we got to see him going through the Death Star. It's
Yeah.
stealthy Obi-Wan, which is really cool. Like this whole thing just reminded me of all that stuff that we saw early on in the very first movie. Um, even doing some of the same tricks that he used in that movie, like doing the little uh using the force to like knock something over with that same little hand motion. They all go check it out. Like it's so well done. I always love the little callbacks they do to like the smallest moments
Yeah.
in the Star Wars
Absolutely.
universe. Um and also, like any scene between Obi-Wan and Leia to me is like some of the best stuff in the entire series. And like it's also the biggest surprise to me because one didn't expect her to be in the show. But the actress is just like incredible in this role every single time. Like I don't see a little girl trying to be Leia in Star Wars. I see Princess Leia when I watch that show, and that's a total credit to the actress and how great she is at such a young age. Um some of the more touching scenes in the entire show come between her and Obi-Wan. I think it's again just some of the best stuff in the entire series.
Yeah, I mean, it almost started to give me, and it's totally opposite vibe of movie and everything, but it was giving me almost like a Logan vibe because you know how like Logan and the girl were kind of traveling
It's
alone,
the lone wolf and cub story that
right?
Star Wars has been doing that quite a bit recently, like of course with Mandalorian and Grogu. Some complaints about that with this show, kind of doing that same thing, but it works in Star Wars. I think that's why it's something you can go to, and it's still going to be compelling,
Yeah,
especially with characters like as important as this.
yeah, absolutely. And before we get to big takeaways, I do have to say one thing: R.I.P. Wade.
Hmm.
Mm. A integral character to the entire episode.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, that is a funny thing because like that happens, and it is kind of still of a brutal scene, like seeing her
Yeah,
reaction to it, but it's that whole thing about the whole planting the seeds of the rebellion, which I think is that whole the fascinating part of it, how it's not just the big characters making the big decision. It's the way everybody plays a role in it, and I love the way I think it was Tala comes up to her after everything happens. And goes, "It looks like you guys actually are soldiers after all," and that
yeah,
kind of hits home with them because now like, okay, like we know we didn't sign up for this, but we signed up for this.
yeah. Well, he definitely he signed up for that in that moment. He knew what was going to happen, type of thing. Like there was a 50-50 chance he was going to get out of
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, but I just love that. Yeah, that they just find out this is a bigger thing that they're all fighting for, and sometimes things like this have to happen.
Yeah. The only joke that I was making was we literally had no idea that character's
Oh,
name was
yeah, for
Wade,
sure. Yeah.
and we got like
If we
a
had gotten one
Wade.
scene with them or something like that, that could have like given us that. Yeah, for sure. But yeah. And also, okay, and one more thing I did want to point out that was I was a little bummed that O'Shea Jackson Jr. did not end up being Gwendolyn Boss.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
I do like Roken as a character. It seems like he's got some kind of like past
Oh no, we lost Rico.
with somebody force related or maybe like to the Jedi. Yeah. I'm here. Am I not here?
No, you're
Oh,
you're
hello,
you're
am I here?
you're going in and out.
Oh, okay. Oh, hello.
Oh, oh,
Save
oh.
me.
Can you see?
Save me. Save me.
Before you go away forever, you want to get into predictions? Or
Yes,
not
please.
predictions, takeaways. Sorry.
Yeah, that.
Takeaways. Yeah! I'll kick us off just in case you go away again.
Okay.
All
It's
right.
that time of the day, I guess.
I know everybody's logging in, but so for my first big takeaway, I had to say this because I thought it was really cool. Was one major thing that I really liked about this episode was we got to see Obi-Wan. I mean, you said this way, start to get his mojo back. Basically, I was just saying, starting to kind of flex his force abilities more. Like, and it's just like we
Right.
were saying earlier on earlier episodes, where it's like a muscle. So the more he starts using it, the easier it's going to come. And even on a micro level in the episode, when they're flying to the fortress to rescue Leia, he's actually practicing on the ship with a little teeny tiny like piece of scrap
Yeah,
or
just a little
whatever.
piece of metal. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's trying to drag it across the floor of the ship type of thing. And Tala came over and said like, look, you're gonna get it back. I mean, she went in all this stuff about you have to kind of forget your past, like don't worry about the past type of thing. But that's a bigger storyline type of thing because he was like that. I can't forget about that because it's harkening back to Anakin and Darth Vader. But I just thought it was really cool because we not only that, but we just like you said, while he's sneaking around the fortress, we got to see him use a force ability that he had used in episode 4, where when he was sneaking around the Death Star, where he was able to make a sound on another part of the hallway so that the stormtroopers would leave him alone so he could
Yeah, I
get out
love
of
that.
yeah. But we're just seeing more and more of him being able to use the force. And later on in the episode, when they're trying to escape, he's holding back the window from cracking. I mean, I
Right.
gotta imagine like
Just
that's
like a grenade up too. Yeah.
yeah, that's 10
Took a
times
lot out of him.
harder. Yeah. And he was able to hold it for as long as he needed to, type of thing. And so I just thought, like, overall, we got to see this really cool progression of him, working back into doing this. And I mean, we're gonna see a full force strength Obi-Wan the next time him and Darth Vader meet up, and I think it's gonna be interesting. Like, it got me pumped for that. Do you want me? We didn't ask this before. Do you want me to do my next takeaway, or do you want to go and then I'll go again?
I can go right now if you want to go after me for sure.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So, I just want to kind of point out some of the stuff that I really enjoyed in this episode, not necessarily like big themes or anything like that, mostly, but actually, big theme thing here.
Oh no,
We were
Rico,
just
we
talking
lost
about.
you.
Oh no, we lose me again.
Yeah, we lost you.
Do I keep talking?
We'll start over because you were like, "What are the big themes that I liked?" And you went blomp.
Okay, I'm here again. Am I back?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the bigger themes that I did enjoy about this episode is kind of when Obi-Wan is kind of trying to move that little piece of scrap metal, whatever that, and Tala's having that conversation. She was saying, your body's not the only thing that needs to heal, and it's really this whole thing about mental health that kind of like Obi-Wan is kind of the picture boy in Star Wars for like all the things that he's gone through throughout the timeline have just gone through, like, weighed so much on him mentally, and now we're kind of seeing him go through that trauma a little bit again, and knowing that Anakin's alive and stuff like that. So the way they're kind of diving into those kind of themes with Obi-Wan just makes him even more of a compelling character, and more than he already is, and it makes his transition to Ben even more impactful, just knowing like everything that's happened to him up to this point. But okay, so some of the stuff I just really liked in this episode were, one, Obi-Wan swimming into the fortress was exactly like Cal Kestis in Jedi Fallen Order, like the exact same route. I felt like I was playing that level all over again. Super cool. Kind of makes you think like the Empire would have, like, sharpened up their defenses on that kind of entryway for sneaky Jedi to get into, because like that's only like 5 years before that. Cal Kestis went in there and basically escaped the clutches of Vader. Yeah, and then Obi-Wan gets right in the same way, and of course when he gets right out, he's already super dry and his hair looks amazing, and like, geez, okay, you're just in the ocean.
It's a force. It's a force ability.
Yeah, force drawing. Yeah,
They don't talk about it very
you
often.
didn't
But
show it. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe he had like the same stuff that Marty McFly had in Back to the Future 2, where he
the
just
self
dries out.
drying clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the self drying clothes. Yeah. Um. So that was one of the things I really did like. The tomb in the fortress,
Oh yeah.
which had all of the I guess force sensitive beings, dead Jedi, which one of them was like I think one of the younglings from the first episode. Um and then one of the cool ones I learned later on was the cool Clone Wars reference, which is actually Jedi Master Tara Sinube, who was this really old, like a very old Jedi. He walked around with the cane and stuff like that. He helped around a lot of the younglings. He used to have like this cane that would take out the cane, and the top of his cane was actually his lightsaber hilt, and that was like the really cool part about him. But like kind of like Yoda, like you walk around all old, but when he needed the channel the Force to fight, he was a Jedi. So to see him in there was really one devastating because of course he didn't make it, but I wonder why they're keeping them in this amber like substance stuff, like keeping them preserved for what I would imagine for whatever the emperor needs cloning purposes that has been going on ever since. It's been going on pretty much this entire time, even goes on past Return of the Jedi with Grogu and stuff like that. So what it's all built up to, who like we're gonna keep seeing it being built over time.
Yeah.
And then my favorite shot of the entire episode is when Obi-Wan goes to save Leia, and the lights go out. The two stormtroopers on each side, and you just see the lightsaber glow up. Goes back out, goes around the other side, gets him out, done, and he does this fancy twirl and everything, which I love seeing, like Obi-Wan doing his own moves again. Just like you're saying, like getting that mojo back, flexing that muscle a little bit, which just gets me so excited for the upcoming episodes, of course. But yes, those are just some of the things I really geeked out over in this episode. Even, and also like smaller things like the little comm device being the same as episode 4. Like really good stuff. I really like the interaction between Tala and the other Empire officer who's at the security gate, and it's like this really cool little like verbal tug of war they're kind of going on, and she ends up winning that. And then also her like kind of back and forth with Riva and everything, and then just super fun. I really enjoyed, like, this wasn't a big story episode, but this was a fun like kind of filler side adventure, even though it was still pretty big in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't in no way was I trying to take away from the episode.
Oh no, for sure.
I think the goods of this episode outweigh the not as good stuff from.
Like we said, it's just hard to follow up what was so great last week.
Exactly. But I think there were plenty of goods. I did want to say, in that stormtrooper scene that you were mentioning, you forgot that before the second stormtrooper was killed, he says, "There's no way out," or "There's no escape," or something. Hey. If it's a Jedi with a lightsaber, you're dead. Like, might as well just say, like, "Okay, good night." Like, something.
Props to him for having a little bit of a spine while he goes out, though. Like, it would have been really funny if he did just cower, but
I mean, if I was a stormtrooper, I would have dropped my blaster and went like, "They don't pay me enough. Like, do something."
Right.
But my other stormtrooper comment is,
what is it, Iron Man 3, when he takes out all the guys and then the last guy goes like, "I don't even like them. They are so weird." And get out of here. That would have been really good.
But my other stormtrooper comment is, so when Obi-Wan is trying to escape with Leia, and there's just
in the coat.
I will get to that. But there are two stormtroopers going down one hallway. It's before like a whole bunch of them start coming, and there's just two and then two. It's like the buddy who's walking literally right next to him, like there's two stormtroopers, and they're both kind of slowly walking and shooting one at a time.
Yeah.
He sees Obi-Wan deflect it, kill the guy right next to him, and continues to walk slowly towards him, shooting him every once in a while, giving
sounds
him
like us in Fortnite.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, in my head, I was just like, I would have tried a different strategy, something different.
Yes. Or
But
not, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. But
History
yeah,
has shown otherwise.
shut up. I've got much better. I don't
Hey, I'm
want
just as guilty. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, Obi-Wan walking with Leia in his coat. How no one not only didn't recognize Obi-Wan in just
So
a new
funny.
coat, but like
The Inquisitors.
yeah, they walk past two Inquisitors and they do a wide shot, and it's just like this blob. It's a normal heighted person and a normal like thing, and then just half of it is just blob down here because it's covering a tiny child.
Like, yeah, damn, he's thick.
But it's not even like she was walking behind him. It's like
I know, right?
he's got side butt. Like what the fuck?
Hate to see it.
Anyway, so for my last big takeaway, I have to say it. Boom! Big reveal. We got evil Lola. And I know you said corrupted Lola. I'm going to say evil Lola because the only thing that popped into my head when I texted you evil Lola was the SpongeBob character that just goes evil.
Yeah, mermaid, isn't it?
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Yeah. Love it.
But anyway, yeah, our end reveal of the entire episode is that Riva, unbeknownst to Leia, has been able to not only put a tracker in Lola, but basically corrupt Lola.
And she did it right in front of our eyes too, and we didn't even think about it.
Yeah, we weren't paying attention. I honestly thought she was going to destroy it.
She was just kind of like tinkering with it, and then she's talking about her history with the droid. So it was kind of like a cool, like kind of like we were listening about her story. Not even realize that she was like kind of playing us too, like she was like fixing off this droid while she's telling the story about her. Like, kind of good work on her part.
Yeah, I mean, sleight of hand. I mean, she had us just like she had Leia. Basically, like neither one of us were paying attention to what she was doing. We were paying attention to the story, exactly like you said. But do you have any more takeaways before we get to predictions?
No, I don't.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get to some predictions. You want to go first on this one?
Yeah, I kind of just realized I didn't think of any predictions for this episode, but
oh shit, you were supposed to think of predictions because I didn't have any.
True. Yeah, my bad. Well, I think one prediction I think we can all see, of course, happening is the inevitable rematch between Obi-Wan and Vader. I think I said this last week. I would really like it if the battle took place on Mustafar again, possibly on Vader's castle. I think that would be a really cool way to just kind of bring it all back together with those two characters. But I want to know if we're gonna get any kind of more bigger reveal characters in here again. Like, I'm not kind of holding out for cameos. It's not kind of something I'm like, it's not make or break for me, but I'm kind of wondering what this next episode is going to set up, if the final episode is going to be the big saber battle between them. I wonder how, like what's going to be our big like ooh moment in episode 5.
I know
this. What?
I know what it could be.
What's that, Danny?
Qui-Gon Force Ghost.
Oh shoot! Yeah, duh. Yeah, that's the one thing. Yeah, I think that's also for sure. That's got to be one of our. Unless they hold off both of those for the final episode, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. But yeah, I want to see what happens with the tracking device, of course, and where that takes them. Wherever their ship is off to right now, it has to be. There's got to be somebody there waiting for them that we. It's going to be integral to the story in some way.
Yeah. What I was thinking was, what if next episode they actually go and drop off Leia on Alderaan? Because, in episode 4, Vader blows up Alderaan with the Death Star. And, like, it wasn't just like he just went, I'm going to pick and choose a planet at random. So maybe this is where he kind of gets tipped off that Alderaan, is working with the rebellion and stuff like that. So he, puts that in the back of his head and says like, hey, when I get like a super powered Death Star weapon, I'm gonna blow up this planet. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but is that his call? Or is that Tarkin's? I'm always trying to figure out why that whole thing in general is. I would like to get more context into why Alderaan was directly outed like that.
That's why I'm thinking,
or how they figure out that maybe if there's some rebel connections, and that's why they just make that decision anyway.
That's why I'm wondering if this is what the tracker leads to, type of thing. Because I mean, eventually, Obi-Wan's not gonna stay with Leia by the end of the series, type of thing. Because
No, of course not.
So I mean, they're going back to Alderaan, and unless they figure out that Lola has been compromised before they get to Alderaan, then they're gonna see it stop on Alderaan because Obi-Wan's not gonna take the droid with him. So it could be a direct way that Alderaan falls into the targeting of the
Okay, so yeah, so maybe the Lola's tracked, like corrupted now. They find them. Maybe they managed to get both of them this time, Leia and Obi-Wan, but they take them directly to Vader, and then that's where the final battle ends up happening, and then they both still escape.
Yeah.
So it'd be a lot of them escaping, but something's gonna happen. Maybe that's where in the final episode Reva tries to kill Vader, and that gives Obi-Wan and Leia enough time to get out of there. So I think Vader might actually still win this fight a second time, but it's just going to be a better fight, or something's going to happen where it's like almost even, and then Reva kind of like
tips the scales so that Obi-Wan can escape.
Well, yeah, even that, like almost kind of like there's no definitive winner.
Right.
There's just like but there's just kind of a moment where Vader doesn't really see it as a victory because he couldn't best him.
Right.
Obviously. So maybe that's where I think that's where it might be all leading to.
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, look, the way that this episode ended, I mean, we really don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, we kind of know where we need to get to by the end of the series.
We've seen everything that has been shown in promotional footage now at this point, because I think the last stuff that we hadn't seen was the stuff from the breakout episode.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be an interesting ride. I'm excited for the next 2 episodes. Excited for next week's episode. But
it's going to be only 2 more. Yeah.
I know, right? It went so fast. When I was thinking about it, and because I mean, you know me, I'm like always trying to plan like new recap stuff. I was like thinking about it, I was like, this is gonna go forever, and we're gonna be doing Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan at the same time all the time.
Yeah, Miss Marvel's like, 6 too, so that's gonna be another over before we know it too. And then we're gonna have more stuff. So everything's just coming out one after another, and I really love it. Now Andor 12 episodes. Oof.
That's gonna be a longer ride. I think maybe, hopefully I'm wrong, but I think maybe that'll be a slower burn. But I would like 12 action-packed episodes. That'd be insane. But I have a feeling they'll take their time with it, type of thing. They have the ability to with 12 episodes.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that's what we think. Let us know in the comments below. What did you think of episode 4? What do you think is going to happen with Evil Lola? And how do you think we're going to get that second Obi-Wan and Darth Vader battle before the end of the series? And do you think we're going to see a Qui-Gon Force Ghost? And as always, don't forget, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to hear about all of our latest video updates. Bye, everybody!
Poppin' Off presents That Recap Show.